Welcome to the Marriage Be Like podcast. We're your hosts, Kenny
and Kenya.
And we are so glad that you are joining us today. Listen, this podcast is here to discuss love and relationships, life topics, and how to navigate through it all.
Disclaimer, we are not specialists or counselors or professionals in these fields. We are a married couple who've got 27 years of life experiences under our belt. We hope to open some discussions, build communication, and plant some seeds. So sit back, enjoy, and let's have a conversation and grow together. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage Be Like podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kenya.
Yes, I am Kenny.
Yes, thank you for joining us. If it's your first time, we welcome you.
We are so glad you're here.
Yes, thank you for finding us.
Yeah.
And tell whoever told you to find us, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're returning, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you, actually.
Back.
We appreciate that because it's growing and we're hearing great reviews from people.
Yes.
So I'm just so happy. I really, really am.
Yes.
So also, you can go to our socials. We'd like for you to follow us.
Yes.
Share.
MarriageBeLike.com. No, that's that. You said the socials. So our socials are at Marriage Be Like. Come on, you okay?
Yep. I thought you was giving the website.
No, you said socials.
I did.
So, see what I got to deal with.
Wait. No, don't shake it. It was you a couple weeks ago. Now it's just me.
It's you, okay. Okay, so now I got to wait for you to catch up.
That's correct. Give me my space. It's all right. I gave you your space.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so follow us on...
You can follow us on Facebook at Marriage Be Like. You can follow us on YouTube at Marriage Be Like. And you can go to our website at marriagebelike.com. Man.
It took us a little bit to get through it, but it's all right. Y'all got the idea.
Yes.
You can go ahead and follow us, share, like, comment, subscribe.
That's it.
Yes. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of the above.
All of it.
Okay. Also, I want to mention that you can also go back and listen to our episodes.
That's right.
We have talked about many things. And let's just give a few.
Okay.
One that we talked about was a couple of weeks was breaking down the marriage vows.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about breaking down marriage vows. We talked about the 5 love languages. We talked about the 3 ways to find happiness in your home. But that wasn't one. That sounds like a good one. Because
he just making up stuff. Oh my goodness.
No, you got to listen. If you go back, please go back. So you got the 5 love languages, the 5 secrets to whatever, the 7 rules to
relationship and marriage principles.
I forgot. There was so many numbers. No, just go.
Yes, we did several weeks of self-helps, I guess, in a sense.
Tips.
Yes, tips and tricks is what I called it.
Tips and tricks, not rules.
Yeah, they were rules. Air quotes.
Yes.
They were rules listed on the internet, but we called them principles and tips and tricks.
Yes. So,
okay. Also, I'd like to mention while we're at it, it's not just a marriage podcast.
Right.
A lot of what we talk about is relationships in general.
That's it.
Yeah. We just happen to be married. So it is what it is.
Just so happen to be married.
Yes, we just so happen to be married. Okay.
How did that happen, right?
I'll tell you what.
Anyway.
All right, so today is interesting because it's probably one of our more serious topics.
Yeah, well, you can't get your life together. But anyway,
I know, that's because it's a serious topic.
It is. And you know what? For that reason, I'll give you a pass.
Thank you. I appreciate the pass and not the shade. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so today, actually, we're going to say it later on in our calendar review, but if you haven't noticed or if you didn't know, this month is Domestic Violence Month, Awareness Month.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month, yes.
So we're going to talk about that today.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
What is domestic violence or abuse?
Ooh.
So Mythbusters, there's a lot of myths with your domestic violence and abuse. So we're going to bust some of those wide open.
Burst them wide open.
Yes. We're going to get a survivor story.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, just give some nice talking.
Yeah.
Give some information.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
And references.
Yeah. And ways that you can find help if you need it.
That is correct. We have all of that for you today.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know if I want to jump right in. You want to jump right in?
Yeah, I'm along for the ride.
Okay. So let's work out the definitions, babe. How about that?
All right. Sure. All right. So what is domestic violence? Okay. And you know what? Before I read this, right? I mean, without reading a definition, all right? Because because I actually didn't read this definition yet.
Okay.
All right. So I just want to give my perspective of what
Go right ahead.
domestic violence is, right?
Yes.
Right. So violence that is in the home.
Okay. I mean, yes. It's not limited to that, but yes.
Right. So, I mean, and that was just an oversimplification of, but you know, can I share a quick experience?
Yes.
Right. And it's not one that I've had, but I remember when I was in school and I was riding a bus to go to a job that I had. Right.
Okay.
And I remember sitting across from this lady she was just reading this magazine, and I mean, her head was just buried in the magazine. And it was, I thought, man, this is whatever magazine that is, because I couldn't tell what it was.
She reading it good.
She just reading that thing, right? And she would never lift her head up. The bus stopped, and then finally she did lift her head up. And when she did, I had noticed that there were bruises on her face.
Yeah.
And immediately I had so much compassion for her because I realized at that moment when I saw the bruises that I also noticed the suitcase that she had in between her legs right there when she was sitting there on the bus. And you know, again, I was just so struck by her reading the magazine and her head buried in the magazine that I did not notice the suitcase there. And until I saw her face and I saw the bruises on her face. And I wondered, man, it must be a rough situation to be in where you feel like you may feel trapped or whatever the case may be, because it to me, it appeared like she finally was making a move.
Hey, I appreciate her making the move because some don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
she had courage to do that.
She had courage to do that.
Let me ask, how old were you? You said in school. That could be any time.
Sorry, I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in college. I was in Maryland going to school, and on the DC bus.
Ooh, I was going to say subway, but no, you're right. Bus.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, so here's the thing: when we see that was an obvious sign of domestic violence or domestic abuse, but sometimes they're not as obvious.
That's true.
Many times, and probably more times than not, they're not as obvious. So when we talk about domestic violence, we're talking about a violent or an aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or a partner. Would child abuse be considered a form of domestic abuse or domestic violence?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we say a spouse or a partner. I was just curious whether or not we would include a child.
That actually does fall under it. It. I don't know if it has domestic. I don't know if they use that word for it, but yes. Okay. Because so many children see that, even though people think that they don't.
Yeah.
But they do see it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So what's domestic abuse?
Domestic abuse. So domestic abuse, an incident or a pattern of incidents of controlling, coercive, threatening, degrading, and violent behavior, including sexual violence, in the majority of cases by a partner or ex-partner, but also by a family member or caregiver. It is very common, caregiver is very common. In the vast majority of cases, it is experienced by women and is perpetuated by men.
Yes. I think that's kind of where the children part fall when it comes to the domestic abuse.
Okay.
Rather than domestic violence.
Okay.
I don't know how they separate that out. I didn't look that up.
Well, I mean, I would think,
I'm sure it can go both ways, but
abuse is taking advantage of a person. The violence is actually physical violence.
It is.
So, I mean, they would categorize different based on the nature of mistreatment.
Yes, right. That's what I was really trying to say. It just didn't come out right. But yes, thank you, babe. Okay, so let's talk about some Mythbusters.
Okay.
All right, so many people think, which is why they're called myths, only men abuse. Is that true?
No.
No, women abuse too, people.
Women abuse too.
It's not a high number or not as high a number, but it definitely happens.
I want to say this because speaking as a man, and I'm not saying that I have experienced that, but I will say that I can understand the reluctance of any man wanting to express that they have been abused, whether it's been, violent or otherwise.
Well, I think the issue there oftentimes is the violent part, but women tend to abuse their men, not necessarily in the violent part.
Well, I mean, but I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it happens either way.
Yes.
But what I am saying is that typically, all right, and this is just a stereotypical thing, really, where we expect that a man can handle his own against a woman and therefore should not be or allow himself to be abused, whether violent or sexual or whatever the case may be. But
there's emotional abuse.
There is. But I mean, again, not to discount that there is domestic violence. But my point is that some men may be ashamed to state or
that.
report
Yes. But my point is they shouldn't be, because it may not necessarily be the violent part that they're experiencing. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes it isn't the violent part, it is the emotional part. Mm-hmm. So then, anyone can do that, manipulation, so on and so forth. But being able to be vulnerable and say it is okay, because then you can get help once you admit it.
Yes.
Male or female.
Yeah.
All right. So another myth, domestic violence happens only in low-income families. Kind of a true or false, right? I know that was, I kind of chuckled at that one too. Like, really? That's what people think?
Anybody watch that, what was that movie, Mommy Dearest?
Please don't remind me of that one.
I'm sorry. That's what came to mind, right?
Yeah.
That was not a low-income
No, absolutely
situation.
not. Absolutely not. Domestic violence happens in all kinds of families.
All kinds. Yep.
All kinds. It does not discriminate. Race, color, creed, finances. It does not discriminate. Okay. So another myth: alcohol and drugs.
Oh man.
Cause domestic violence. What you think, Bag?
I mean, it certainly doesn't help. Right.
Well, it absolutely does not help.
But no, it's
anything that's going to alter you. And
I mean, no, the cause of domestic violence and domestic abuse is really more than just any kind of substance abuse.
Yes.
Right. I mean, it's much deeper than that. So
I was actually surprised to see how they described this one. And my reference for this is the Center for Hope and Safety website. Okay. So alcohol and drugs do not cause domestic violence. Domestic violence is a choice.
Ooh.
Go and let that one sink in. Yeah, it's a choice. And I think the assumption, which is why we call them myths, is that you can't help it, or it is the drug and alcohol. But no, they're saying it's a choice. Many abusers will make sure they have alcohol and drugs on hand in order to use them as excuse for their actions.
And you know what? And it works so many times.
It works almost all the time.
I mean... And I'm not saying that it's
this one.
I'm not saying that it's a valid excuse, but it works as an excuse because the
you
person
can't be blamed.
Yeah. And the person who is abused actually attributes that misbehavior to the substance.
That is correct.
And
but it is a choice with or without the substance, is what they're saying. Okay. The other piece to that is abusers will also claim their actions resulted because they could not have their alcohol or drugs.
Well, that's a true sign of addiction, ain't it?
Yes. I thought that was very thorough, though. And I appreciated them breaking that down.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Domestic violence is an anger control issue.
I mean, we're talking Mythbusters, so, but I mean, I can see why so many people believe that.
I believed it until I read this.
Okay.
So I thought it was an anger control issue. Domestic violence has nothing to do with anger. Now, these are not my words.
Okay.
Anger is a tool abusers use to get what they want.
So it's a self, what? I mean,
it's a manipulation tactic.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
That's what it is, a manipulation tactic. And it's just overshadowed by the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, like you say, anger is a tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the last Mythbuster is some people want to be beaten. They ask for it. They deserve it. Some people go from abuser to abuser. It must be something about them.
Wow.
I've actually heard those words.
Blaming the victim.
Yep, blaming the victim. So, fact, no one deserves to be abused. No one. Everyone has the right to live free of violence. No one will want to have their partner be abusive. So no one asks for it. Nobody goes out and seeks an abuser. But the assumption, and like I said, I've heard people say that. So I wanted to make sure that we bust up those myths because they're not true. And you want to be able to be more mindful, at least I think.
So let me ask you this, to this question, right? I mean, the myth, some people want to be beaten. They ask for it. They deserve it. Some people go out looking for abusers. Don't we have, and this is really kind of just for argument's sake, right? Don't we have a type?
Yeah, some people do. Speaking? And oftentimes you can attract with energies.
Right.
But it's not a want to be abused.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you are a manipulator, you can kind of see the kind of person that you're looking for that you can manipulate.
Yeah.
But as the victim, they're not seeking out a manipulator.
Yeah.
So then it has to be a myth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to also say I not only gave the reference, but these are quotes from their website. Okay. I read that verbatim.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like, and again, not to argue against it because I agree. I don't believe anyone goes looking for.
Correct.
It's just that sometimes, like if I wanted to be with someone who was 6'2", you know what I'm saying? That's pretty tall for a female, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
but if I was looking for someone who
6'2", well, I'm 5'2".
Yeah, you're 5'2". Yeah, I mean 5'2" is my favorite. But anyway,
yes, it is.
So, but if that were the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but with that comes a couple other things.
Yeah, I mean, I think people do have types. I'm not saying that.
Some people want to be with a bad boy. You know what I mean? Like
true, but that don't mean they have to be an abuser.
This is true. Which
is what their point is. No one seeks that out.
Right.
Okay, so I'll give a few stats. You give a few stats. How about that?
All right, that'll work.
All right. Want to give y'all some statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Every 9 seconds in the U.S., a woman is assaulted or beaten. 9 seconds, people.
Man.
That is alarming.
9 seconds.
Yes. Every 9 seconds. And this is in the U.S. In the United States, an average of 20 people are physically abused. Now, they said people. They didn't say women this time.
Mm-hmm.
An average of 20 people are physically abused by intimate partners every minute. This equates to more than 10 million abuse victims annually.
Man.
And I'll go ahead and give this reference. This is from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence website.
10 million abuse victims annually.
That's a lot of people.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been physically abused by an intimate partner. So you could have a sister girl circle.
Yeah.
And one of y'all.
That's if there's only 3 of y'all.
Right. They're saying one of y'all would be that physically abused person. I mean, I really could not believe once I looked up these stats. I said, oh my goodness. And I understand that we live in a hard world these days.
Yeah.
But I still didn't expect those stats. I didn't expect those numbers. It's very heartbreaking, actually.
It is. I mean, it leaves me speechless.
Yeah. I'll let you go for the rest, babe.
Oh, okay, for the rest.
Right. Yes, I read. I read several. I got about halfway.
Okay, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 7 men have been severely physically abused by an intimate partner.
And 1 in 7 men.
Yeah.
Severely. physically abused.
Right. So, I mean, and my point is my point was earlier, where men should not feel, this self-conscious about making this report because, if you are, it happens more than you think.
Right.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. And these numbers prove it because these men had to come forth and say something.
Yes. So somebody's saying, now here's the thing, someone is saying it, but how many go unreported?
There's my point.
How many go unreported? So then, we sit here alarmed by these numbers.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this was only half because the other half don't get reported.
Yeah. I don't believe that this is all.
Yeah.
I think that there are more, particularly since it's these, probably more so for men, but women do. Many of us don't stand up and go forward either. Many of us live in that abuse. Yeah. For our kids. Yeah. Yeah. Because we may be homemakers and we can't financially currently take care of ourselves. That's right. Yeah. We want a 2-parent home for our children. Mm-hmm. There are many things, many reasons. One may not be a U.S. citizen. Right. There could be many reasons as to why a woman may want to keep her home intact, air quotes, in a sense. Yeah. But let's be clear, it does not help. Right. It doesn't do what I think people think it does. Just because you have a 2-parent home, you're bringing up your children in that trauma. Yeah. And then what do they do when they go later? You don't know what's going to happen and what they will take in because you chose to stay. And the lessons that they learn by watching what you do. Right. Or by watching the abuser. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They said that 70% don't abuse in the future, but 30% do. So you don't know what your kids are going to get and what they'll be later. Yeah. Next stat, 1 in 7 women and 1 in 18 men have been stalked. Stalking causes the target to fear that he or she or someone close to him or her will be harmed or even killed. Yes. Yes. And I didn't want to get the stats on killing. This was heartbreaking enough. So I didn't go there. But that one was rough. Yeah. On a typical day, domestic violence hotlines nationwide receive approximately 20,800 calls. On a typical day. 20,800. That's almost 21,000 calls a day. We're not talking about a week. A day. Per day. So today, they got over 20,000 calls. 20,000 calls, yeah. Man. Yeah. The presence of a gun in a domestic violence situation increases the risk of homicide by 500%. Mm-hmm. Particularly if you have a home that one deals with drugs or alcohol. Mm-hmm. Because then it's easy to pick up a gun for threats. Yeah. Yeah. Those kinds of things. So, yeah, again, heartbreaking. Yes. Domestic violence accounts for 15% of all violent crime. Yeah. And it's so unnecessary, particularly with what I said earlier, that it's a choice. Yeah. It's not an anger issue. It's not a drug and alcohol issue. It's not even a control issue. It's a choice to abuse someone. And yeah, that reference, I was like, let me make sure this goes on this podcast because people need to know this information. Yeah, yeah. The last one I have here, domestic violence is most common amongst women between the ages of 18 and 24. Yes. Babies. Yes. Agreed. So this reference again was from where, babe? This is from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Yes. Their website. Yeah. All right. So you want to break it up a little bit? Have some story time? Yeah. You got a story? Yeah. Do you really? Yeah. Okay. Just checking. You don't look confident in your story. I have a story, and I'm going to give a shout out. Okay. To Lynette Malone. Oh yeah. Hey Lynette. Hey Lynette. you know Lynette. She called me the other day. Did she? Yeah. We're doing things together at the church. Trying to get, and Trying to get her video going.
Yes. Yeah. And she calls me. She says, I'm not bothering you, am I? And you know what my response was?
Yes.
Yes, you are. You are. You know, I'm not going to lie about it. She was bothering me. I was in the middle of something.
Wait, and she probably called you from work anyway.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, not that I didn't want to help her, right? Not that I didn't want to hear what she had to say.
You were in the midst of something?
I was in the midst of something. So, yeah, you're bothering me. But
so did she start talking?
No.
Sound just like her.
But, you know, I mean, and the reason why I said that, right? Because you got to understand, I'm learning something. I'm coming to a realization about who I am and really just acknowledging how I feel about different things, right? If you ask me if you're bothering me, the answer is going to be yes.
Just you'll tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, why would I lie about that? Yes, you are bothering me, but not as much as my desire to want to help you.
Got you.
Right?
No, I got you.
Both can be true. I want to help you, but you're bothering me. You're interfering with what I'm doing right now. So,
but I'll still help you.
But I'll still help you. I will stop. I'll figure out the rest. You know, clearly you needed help right now. So anyway, so Lynette, you know, yeah, you were bothering me. I told her this, so, you know.
But it's okay. Yeah,
it's okay.
They mess with each other, joking back and forth anyway.
Yeah. So.
But look, I'm shouting out Lynette because I know she's listening, because she said we were in conversation about something else, a project we were working on.
Okay.
So she called to ask me a few questions, and then she said, "You know what, girl? Just out the clear blue sky." In the midst of one of her questions, "I love y'all's podcast." I was like, "Oh, thank you, Lynette. I know you was listening." So I appreciate, I mean, not only just her, not only just you, Lynette, but all those who have said that they love our podcast and that they watch on a regular.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. So what's your story? Because you took half of my story.
Oh, did I?
You did.
No, that was my story.
No, that was not your story.
Because your story was so short.
Yes.
I mean.
Thank you, Lynette.
Thank you, Lynette.
So what's your story?
I'm just trying to figure it out.
I asked you before we started if you had a story. You told me yes. And I could tell by your face you was lying.
Well, if you knew I was lying,
Well, if you had been quiet and let me tell my story, you could have thought of one.
You're right. So.
Y'all hear me have to check him.
Wow. I'm still trying to figure out what my story is.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. We'll go into calendar review. How about that? That way you can think about your story.
And then I'll have my story.
Okay, so we talked a lot about, because we've done calendar review almost every week this month, because there's so much happening in October.
Yes.
But I did pull out a few we hadn't mentioned yet. Okay, so Invisible Disabilities Awareness Week. Now, it was last week technically, and I didn't say it last week because I was trying to save something for this week. But invisible disabilities, just in case you didn't know, would be things, for example, chronic pain, learning disabilities, mental health disabilities, etc. So these are things you cannot directly see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you saw my face. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Because at first I thought you stumbled over the words. I was like, "What is she saying?"
Invisible Disabilities.
Okay.
Awareness Week.
All right.
So apparently that's for you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you need to be aware that there are invisible disabilities.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, see, you know what? I've gotten to a point where now everybody throws shade at me, so I'm a little.
No. But anyway, it was celebrated last week. Okay. But let's see. Another one would be this month, OCD Awareness Month.
Now, OCD, that's obsessive compulsive disorder.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is to educate and break down the stigmas of OCD. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they had a month. But yes, and I think that there are a lot of stigmas with OCD. I know I didn't understand it until, I guess, more recently.
Okay.
You hear about OCD, people talk about it, but no one really, like, you'll see it on movies. It's kind of joked around with, but no one really, I didn't know that there was awareness for it to explain what it is and why there are stigmas for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did it make any sense? Okay. So, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes.
Now, I have to confess, last week we both had on pink.
Yeah.
And then we forgot to say that
Said
we were wearing
nothing
pink
about it.
about Breast Cancer Awareness
Said
Month.
nothing about it.
So today I got on a little pink. He forgot.
I did. You did. Of course, you didn't. You didn't remind me.
I didn't remind you, but you still forgot on your own. I mean, I'm not the reminder of all things.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So today I have on some pink. It's in there somewhere. Because honestly, I have known quite a few people who have gone through several women and one man who've gone through breast cancer. And I would say about half of those are no longer with us today. It is a hard disease, but lots of people also survive it.
Yeah.
You know, which is why we have the marches and the runs, and to bring awareness, but also to raise money to help fight it and to bring a cure.
Right. You know, my grandmother.
Your grandmother had breast cancer?
Yeah.
I don't think wait, which grandmother?
On my mother's side.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, she passed like in the 80s.
Okay.
Early mid 80s.
So you were young.
Yeah, I was. Well,
and did she die of breast cancer?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She had a double mastectomy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at that time, that was popular.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I think more women try to hold on to it because
Really?
there's so many ways that they can, help, not cure it, but help fight it, I guess is more of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But yes, so bringing awareness, that's this month. And everybody knows October is pink.
Yes.
So everyone wears pink in October because it helps to push the awareness, okay? And then, of course, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Brings awareness, education, and to share hope and help.
And help.
Yes. Because there is help. And I don't know that when you're in those situations, if you know that there is help. Friends and family may or may not help, but there's hotlines, there's websites, there's shelters.
Yeah.
So you just have to seek out that help and make that step to leave.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. You know, so many people don't know about the resources available.
Yes.
The help that is but just an arm's reach away.
Right.
And
some are scared.
And some are scared.
That's why I said I commend the lady that you were talking about earlier on the bus.
Yeah.
Making that step to leave.
Yeah.
Even if it is just the one suitcase.
I mean, because Kenya, let me tell you, my heart, when I saw that, my heart just, it.
And I'm sure it wasn't just you. I'm sure several felt that.
Yeah. I mean, I was overwhelmed with emotion because at first my heart was broken because I realized the situation that she was in. Mm-hmm. But then I was encouraged because I realized the situation she was in.
Right.
Did you see that?
Was the key word.
Was the key word. I mean, because it's, that she was going somewhere, and I can't imagine someone who is in a situation where they just don't have any resources, and they're afraid. The only source of sustenance that they have is this person that's abusing them. Yeah. And if they leave, they don't know what they're going to face. And that's tough.
Yeah. I've known, I had a friend who went through that, and her children came to the daycare. Mm-hmm. And, we would see her come with glasses on, sunglasses, and but I think her husband at the time would purposely go for her face. She couldn't do enough to hide her bruises.
Man.
She just couldn't do enough. And patches of hair out. It was pretty bad. And she would come and try to go to work every day. And we actually got together and helped her out. We would help take care of her kids sometimes. Mm-hmm. They went to counseling, her and her husband, and we encouraged her to call the police the next time we hit her, and that's exactly what she did. I think being able to open up and talk about it, now, we as the teachers of the daycare, we had to go to her and say, hey, we see what you're doing. We see what you're in.
Right.
But I think that helped her open up, because then she could have a little bit more courage to face him, to call the police on him, which she did on several occasions, and to not allow him to do that to her, and not accept these excuses.
I mean, cause
and she finally left him.
Yeah, being able to talk with someone not only is encouraging but is empowering, right? I mean, because now you encourage someone, say, hey, look, this is not where you are supposed to be.
Right. And we rallied around her because we wanted to make sure, first off, she had 2 sons. And I think for me, I didn't want her sons to see that and then become him.
Right.
You know? But also we knew that she was scared. And it's like, well, look, here's your safe haven.
Yeah.
And there were times she didn't go to work and she stayed at the daycare for a couple hours just to kind of. And so when she finally left him, we helped her out with food and clothing.
Yeah.
With money to try to help be her support. She didn't have any family here. So I was, pretty proud that we were able to do that and that I wasn't the only one who felt that compassion.
Right.
So yeah, you got your story yet, babe?
Yeah, my story was about the lady on the bus.
Okay.
The lady on the bus.
Okay, there you go. That was the lady on the bus. That was your story for today.
Because it's sticking with me even to today.
Okay.
And that was, so many years ago.
It was.
And I remember that like it happened yesterday, and I think, the point of the story, it actually gives me a motivating force behind this conversation.
Yes.
Because
you hadn't been in a situation like that, but that was what you witnessed.
That's what I witnessed.
So that's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Okay. Well, let's get some definitions, okay?
Okay.
4 types of domestic violence.
Okay.
Now, I didn't even consider this.
All right.
I'll say. Psychological and or emotional abuse.
Oh, man.
That's 1.
Yeah.
All right. What's another one?
Physical or sexual abuse.
Yes.
Oh, those are lumped together?
Physical and sexual. That's correct. Okay. The other one is financial or economic abuse.
Okay.
I think that one gets overshadowed by the physical and the sexual one.
Oh, yeah. Nobody thinks about the financial and economic.
But having a hold on you because I know you can't go anywhere because you don't work, or I make more money and you can't do nothing if you leave me, or all those kinds of things.
Or you work, but you give me all your money.
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you leave, you can't take the kids because you can't take care of them.
Right.
Those kind of things would be the financial abuse.
Or, and here's another example of that, right? If, like you and I, we're in our home, but you say you don't know how to handle any of the bills that sustain our house.
Okay.
Utilities, mortgage, you know what I'm saying? All the different things that you have no clue. And if I were to say, well, I just won't pay it, then what you gonna do?
Yeah, then lights and things would be cut off. Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have access to money. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know any of I think that's another form of
I agree. Abuse. I mean, particularly in today's tech world, you pay your bills online.
Yeah.
Well, if you decided not to pay the bills and I would have to pay them and I don't know the passcode.
Right.
that's all it would take.
Yeah. Yeah.
So or if someone's not on that bill or whatever the case, and they won't talk to me because I'm not on that bill.
Yeah.
And I think that is a real abuse situation. And now, of course, this is just examples. That's not our situation, people. No. But I think that
she won't let me spend money.
But I do know someone who went through financial and economic abuse.
Yeah.
And had a hard time leaving for it.
Yeah.
Harassment and stalking.
Leave me alone.
Yes. I think people assume that would not be domestic violence or domestic abuse.
Oh, but it is.
Absolutely is.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about this, right? I mean, in my opinion, whatever leaves me uncomfortable can be abuse.
Yeah.
Be abusive. I mean, if you continually do something that makes me uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Then that's abuse.
Yeah, I could totally see that. In a sense, sometimes I think about abuse, it's also like bullying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can still kind of feel the same way with the two.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I don't get hurt? Is it still abuse?
You know, I don't know if you remember this. We were dating, and I told you, I said, listen, and and it was because of the same lady on the bus. Right, this is how much it meant to me. But I told you, I said, if I ever get the look in my eye.
I don't remember that, but go ahead and finish it.
Maybe I should stop. No, no. If I would ever get the look in my eye, like I'm going to do something to you, physically or otherwise, right? That could potentially hurt you, right? Then I don't want you to. I don't want you to stay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to stay. I don't want.
And you wouldn't have to tell me twice. You wouldn't even. Now, of course, in dating, you wouldn't know that,
right?
Yet, but yeah, no.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's how I feel about it. And thankfully, it's been 28 years and you hadn't left. So
no.
So maybe I hadn't gotten that look in my eye.
No, you have not. Because I defend myself. Yeah. And I call cops too. Sure do.
Maybe I need to hide a couple things around the house. So.
Yeah. And I don't want to make it sound like, we joke. I don't want to make it sound like that has ever been the case.
Never.
That has not been the case for us. But
never. We
do know people who have gone through these things.
Yeah.
And so being willing to speak up for them sometimes is necessary.
Yes. Yes.
Being willing to talk to them and say, hey, look, you're not hiding what you think you're hiding. So let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Let's get you some help.
Yeah.
And that may or may not work, depending upon the person.
Right.
Depending upon if they're ready or not.
Yeah.
But I would always say still try.
Still try.
Because at least it makes them aware that everyone sees what's going on.
Yes.
And then maybe eventually the courage will come.
Yeah.
Okay, so knowing the signs, don't give excuses, and watch for red flags.
Watch for red flags.
Yeah. We're not going to go into the signs or the red flags. We've given y'all a lot of information today.
Yes.
So let's see. Did we talk? Oh, we did our calendar?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So one of the reasons why I brought this to the attention on the podcast today, podcasts are for us to give our opinions, to give our life stories, to give so many things and be a voice for the community, and to help you get information and to help you know who we are. Yeah. And today I'm going to tell my story.
Ooh. I'm
a little bit nervous though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Not that I haven't healed from it. It's just I'm nervous because not very many people know the story. And I can say that for a while I was ashamed of the story. So, but yeah, I think it's something that could be told. I'd never even placed it in this month to consider it as a domestic violence situation, but it absolutely is. And so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity and time to tell it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to read it though, because I don't want to go into too much detail. So in my early 20s, I was in a domestic abusive relationship. At first, things seemed to go really well. He pursued me, and I finally decided to go on a date, which later became a relationship. Several months in, we began to argue, which I hate to do, still hate to do. So I didn't allow it to get too heated. I know now that he would pick those arguments just to fight. Then one day we were headed to my friend's house. We were invited to game night, I believe. My boyfriend chose that night and picked an argument. He complained and fussed all the way there because he didn't want to go, but didn't have a reason not to. So I still kind of made him go because it was a couples game night. So then I'm not showing up by myself, right?
Right.
At the steps of my friend's apartment building, this particular argument got ugly. We were both yelling at each other at this point in public, and it was embarrassing. After a while, I realized I'd given up on this argument and just calmed down. I asked him to leave so I could just go ahead and go to my friend's house. I saw something switch in him, and I'll never forget it. He walked away, and then he came back in a rush with his hand in the air, ready to hit me. I froze. I closed my eyes and I felt the Holy Spirit calm me down, because when you're arguing, you get huffy, your heart beats. So I felt a calmness. When I opened my eyes moments later, he was in a rage. I gently explained I would not let him treat me that way, and that I was still going to go up the steps to my friend's house. He could go ahead and go back home. And that's what I did. I went ahead, I walked in, and I briefly told my friend what just happened. And so my friend came outside and he made sure that my boyfriend left. I knew it was over, our relationship, but I played it carefully for the next few weeks, never to anger him. Then one day I told several friends, today's the day. I'm breaking up with my boyfriend, and to listen out for anything from me. So I had everybody on watch. I called my boyfriend over the phone to break up with him. He refused to accept it, and that led to several months of stalking. When he was at work, he even convinced his friends to stalk me. So I had a team of stalkers, is basically what happened. The three of them would leave ugly notes on my door, show up to my classes, show up wherever and yelling ugly things, tried to get me fired from work, spread lies about me, etc. He was relentless, even quitting school and his job to be sure that he could stalk me. So much so that he followed me out of town as I tried to escape. It wasn't until I decided to give him a taste of his own medicine, stalking with me and some of my guy friends. We would follow him around, and that finally got him to stop. I would not suggest to do that today. I mean, we're talking about the 90s, so laws and rules were a little different. But that's what it took for him to realize I wasn't afraid of him. But that could have gone way wrong. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
I realized later that he was abusive from the start. What I thought was flattering, pursuing me, was actually stalking me from the jump. What I mistook for caring and protecting me and my whereabouts was actually control. And what he called loving me was actually trapping me. I'm grateful to my guy friends who love me like a little sister and helped me get out of that situation. I am lightly, giving this story because there was much more to it, which is why I'm reading it, because I didn't want to go into too much detail. But I praise God that it wasn't worse, and that it didn't change my life for the worse. So that's my domestic abuse story.
I want to say, well, first, thank you to the guy friends, right?
Yes.
Because, you always need somebody who's got your back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, here's the thing, your strength, beyond that, even to this day, right? Because to remember that and to, even to discuss it, those experiences are real.
Yeah.
Those experiences.
And I had to go back to that in my brain.
Yeah. And that's tough. And so to really be willing to share and express that and push through, that's commendable. It's, that's something that takes a lot of courage and strength. And so, and I gotta say, I mean, man, I've told you were the pettiest of petty, and you turning around and stalking him back. Classic.
Yeah.
But hey, let me tell you something. Sometimes a bully does not stop until they get bullied themselves.
What I will tell you is that my dad gave me a Louisville Slugger when I left for college.
Uh-huh.
I'll say I had that every time because I was ready to use it. I don't still have it.
You don't? What is that in the bedroom? Because
it is yes, but it's not a Louisville Slugger.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out if I need to be concerned about it. But
you don't.
It's like it just appeared in the room, right? It just like popped up one day. And I'm like, hey, where did this come from? Did you take a baseball suddenly?
Yeah, no. I think, I don't know if it was my petty or if I was just fed up with the foolishness, and I was deciding not to avoid or hide.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, you know what?
You got to live your life.
Thank you.
You got to live your life.
Thank you.
And you can't be worried about some knucklehead.
Yep.
I mean.
I wasn't going to keep doing it. And so I made up my mind. I said, okay, well, you know what? We're going to have a few options.
Yeah.
And I felt like he didn't know my street side. So I had to pull out my street side.
Okay.
And he learned his lesson without getting hurt. Look at that.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. No violence on this side. No violence.
No violence. All right. So you want to do the lessons, babe?
Well, yeah. Well, can I share one more thing?
Yes.
Because this is another story related to. I remember talking with a coworker, and it was a young lady, and just to give you an idea of how far emotional abuse can send someone. And we talk about, we see sexual abuse, we see, physical violence abuse and things like that.
The emotional and financial abuse, you can't see. You don't know what those people are going through at home.
Right. And we kind of gave some examples of the financial. So let's talk a little bit about emotional. So this young lady that I worked with, asked me how we got on the conversation, but she talked about how for 3 years, she was, I know what it was. She was celebrating an anniversary with her husband.
Okay.
And so, I said, oh, okay, well, how many years? And, is this your first time married or, didn't know all that. And she was like, actually, no, it wasn't my first time.
Okay.
It wasn't her first time. Her first time being married, she was actually married to a lady.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, okay. So now I'm curious how she decided now she wanted to be married to a man as opposed to being married to a woman. And she explained to me that the person that she was with for 3 years, she was with this person for 3 years. And what happened, she had bad relationships. Okay. Which led her to get close to this young lady. And so then they had this, this relationship going on. Well, eventually, she says, okay, well, this is feeling a little weird. I don't want to do this anymore.
The relationship or
the relationship
once they're in the marriage? Okay.
The relationship was feeling weird to her. So she says, I don't want to do this anymore. And the other young lady says, well, what will I do if you leave?
Oh.
Yes. I don't have any other friends, and I don't know what I would do with myself if you left.
That's why the relationship felt weird.
Because it was leaning in that direction,
yeah.
Right? And it wasn't until she actually said, "Oh, I'm out, I'm ready to go," that it actually manifests itself. And so then here she is now. She decides to stay because she did not want this other person to. She didn't want to hurt this other person.
Which was her wife, right?
Well, not yet.
Oh, they still weren't.
They weren't.
Oh, but then they still married.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Because, she convinced her that this was what she was supposed to do and went on. And every time she threatened to leave, she would throw this guilt trip on her. Yep. And so this is an example of emotional abuse.
It sure is. Yep.
Right? Because now you are playing on my emotion so that you can get what you want out of me. And that could be
about control.
It's just about control. Really, when we think back at a lot of abuse situations, you're talking about anger is just a tool to get what you want, and it's about control.
Yes.
When we feel like we are losing control of a situation, we act out. And then and that acting out, manifests itself in abuse.
Yes.
For some.
For some.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't want to give a blanket. It's for some.
Okay. All right.
Because it's still a choice.
It is still a choice.
They're still choosing to do it.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. I'm not saying that they can't help it. No, you chose to do this.
Right.
This is how you're doing it. So, but I wanted to share that example. I mean, we talked about the physical, and we hear so much about sexual abuse and
I think we actually covered it because you're right. We didn't really talk about emotional abuse. I gave the story of the stalking abuse.
Yeah.
And harassment. So I think that's it. We covered them all, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, the reality is, if you see anything like this, right, you want to make sure that you are taking action.
Yes.
Right. If you're in situations like this, and we can go into our love lessons, right? But if you have situations, if you find yourself in a situation, there are resources. One, you want to call authorities immediately if things go left. If you need help. The number to call, there is a number here to call.
Yes.
That is 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE, which is 7233. So that number is 1-800-799-7233.
Correct.
If you want to just do it by text, you can actually text BEGIN, BEGIN, to 88788.
Okay.
Text BEGIN to 88788.
Yes.
Okay. So that was our first lesson here. Make sure that you reach out and get authorities involved so that you can get the protection that you need.
Listen to your friends when they see signs that you don't see or red flags.
Yes.
Oftentimes, now if you have a friend of me, now that can be a different situation. But I know, for instance, in my case, I could have avoided that relationship if I had listened to my friends. So I'm sure I'm not the only one who makes that mistake. Also, I'd like to say that when that time happened, I fell in the ages of 18 to 24, just like the stats said earlier. So make sure that you listen to your friends. If people say that they don't like something about them, sometimes they can't always pinpoint it.
Right.
Red flags you want to pay attention to so that you don't go into relationships that are unnecessary or that can later harm.
Yeah.
Know the signs of abuse.
Yes.
We didn't discuss the signs of abuse today, but you can always look them up and make sure that you know them so that you can see that in a dating situation. And even sometimes, even after a marriage.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things don't always manifest early.
Right.
So it's not too late if you are already married and you see signs of abuse. Make sure you go back to number one and call authorities.
Yeah. And don't stay in an abusive relationship. There is help and there is hope.
Yes.
There is help and there is hope.
All right. So thank you for listening today. We appreciate you, as we said before.
Yes. We love
and come back again.
We love you.
You can listen to us. We are on envision-radio.com every Thursday
at 4 p.m. Eastern Time
and 3 p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
Okay. And also, you can check us out on our website at marriagebelike.com. Subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'd like to say that we are now on iHeartRadio.
Yes.
You have to give it its own little piece, and then we can tell them the rest of it because it's new.
Okay. So, yes, she said iHeartRadio. So it's Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Is that everything?
Is it?
In iHeartRadio.
In iHeartRadio.
I think that might be it.
That may be.
all the major podcast platforms.
Yeah.
Don't forget to catch us on our socials as well.
At Marriage Be Like.
Yes. You can email us at
Kenya
at marriagebelike.com if you want to be on the show, if you want to give us some feedback, or if you want to order our devotional.
Echoes of Faith.
I'm not going to do the echo.
I got to do the echo.
You have to do the echo. Finish us out, babe.
Okay. So, shout out to our son, KEG Beats. He's the producer of the music that you hear right now. Listen, the Marriage Be Like podcast is a production of Green Room Entertainment. We are a media production company. You can check us out at greenroomentertain.com.
All right. Thank you again for listening. Oh, and watching.
Yes.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.